team presents Chalked Blocked with Bo Big Time McBrayer.
Bam! I gotta know what a $5 shake tastes like.
That's hot. That's hot.
I want winner, Bo. You don't know diddly.
And his partner, Scott Stag Simpson.
Do you know who I am?
Trying to put Tiger Bomb on this jungle's nuts.
That's cute. I remember when I had my first beer.
I gotta catch a glimpse of these warlocks. Let's make a move. Let's make a move.
Hey, you guys, welcome back to Chalk Block, the world's sexiest DFS show for now. I'm Bo McBrayer, brought to you as always alongside Scott Stack Simpson at Nimble W Numbers on Twitter. This is a Nimble with Numbers production on YouTube. Make sure you like, subscribe, and give that bell a tickle if you want to get notified when we go live with Chalk Block every week. We're winning people money. We're winning ourselves money. DFS isn't that hard, guys. Sometimes it's as easy as picking the low-hanging fruit. And we're going to help you unlock the puzzle. We're going to put all the pieces together this week. We're going to smother ourselves in good chalk, the strawberry flavored chalk, the chocolate chalk, and we're going to block the bad chalk. Hey, D-Bro, thank you for joining us. My partner over at Fantasy Pros, one of the greatest DFS minds that we know, friend of the show, former guest of the show.
Guest of the show.
Hope to get him back on soon.
For sure.
Thanks for joining us. This is week 12 already. How did that happen?
You blink. It goes by so fast.
It felt like we waited months and years for the season to start, and now we're 2/3 of the way through.
It's remarkable. If you're in your fantasy championship run right now, you've got a couple weeks left until you're crowning your champion. Thankfully, DFS is every single week until the Super Bowl, so not as intense in the
short
playoffs,
attention. This is the game for short attention spans, short memories, and it works because it's a lot of fun. You be throwing your beef, you're throwing your skin in the game every week. You're trying to build the best fantasy team every single Sunday. Or in our case, primetime games on Showdown Slate as well, because we're just junkie degenerates. Small slate magic. Yep, 11 games on this main slate. I'd say that's kind of medium size, really. It's kind of it's 10 or 11 is a nice cozy number of games on a main slate where there's no bye weeks because of the Thanksgiving 3 games that we had were very exciting. I was much more successful on the Thanksgiving slate than Scott was. So we're going to have to figure out what this Week 12 main slate has in store. A lot of good chalk on this slate, Scott.
Yeah, a lot of good chalk, and we'll talk about that. I got to welcome our friends also, Brad and Jorge. A bunch of the regulars here for Chalk Block.
Buenas tardes, compa.
Yeah, and I got to say, tu es muy guapo, Jorge. Yeah,
he is very guapo.
Yes, senor. But no, I'm excited to talk the slate, and I think that there is a lot of chalk, and there's a lot of, I guess as the flow chart would say, the flow chart bros are out. You're one of them now. Sorry, Peter. He's joined the ranks. Yeah. But it is kind of pushing the ownership, the rostership in certain directions, which means I think about 60% of the quarterback, action is around 5 quarterbacks. Right. So there is a bunch of pivots that we can talk about.
We can pivot and make real money, because if you're getting leverage stacks on this slate, I think that's going to be the ticket, because a lot of that chalk is going to get enveloped by guys that might just maybe not disappoint, but underwhelm in the points department for how much attention they are getting in those lobbies. That's going to be the key, is to build the right stacks with the right players. And then, of course, eat some of this running back chalk that's so good in the middle. Like that juicy center cut tenderloin of the running back group is fantastic this week.
Yeah. Yeah. So can I do something real quick? Not that we can't go game by game. I do want to do that, but I did want to kind of preview the chalk, right? By each of these. Yes. Let's talk about this real quick. So we'll go through kind of the chalk, and then we'll kind of get into game by game. Tua, Geno, Pat Mahomes. This is what I was kind of talking about before. Justin Herbert, and then Joey B. That makes up 58% of what you're going to start with there, right? And so
lots of good stuff down below there too.
A lot of green, a lot of optimal. In here too, there's some good plays, but I want to give that the preview to the people. And then you mentioned it. This is the story of the weekend. It's Jeff Wilson and Rashad White, and how you're going to break up or use or play one or the other. They're both in good matchups. They both have low prices or under
Walker
6K.
too. Yeah, Ken Walker's right there.
Ken Walker's right there too. Yeah, there's a lot of talk we can do about running back and how you can not break up the chalk, but maybe mitigate some of it or eat the good chalk, as they like to say. Wide receiver chalk. You knew Tyreek Hill was going to be up there at 8,800, even though the Texans have given up the third least amount of points to wide receivers. You knew that he was still going to be there, being the wide receiver one clear this year. But then also Keenan Allen, 6,100. What a great price in the game that has the highest total on the board. What do you think about the wide receiver chalk, kind of seeing it here?
It's really interesting because Terry McLaurin's super chalky against Atlanta. That's for good reason. He's a great price, bad defense, but his quarterback Taylor Heineke is not chalky.
No,
so I like that a lot. I really like that. $5,300, $5,800, so 11-1 for that skinny stack. And that unlocks a lot of upside at other positions and all the way around those two guys. I love that skinny stack. But another one is the Seahawks. Geno's getting all the chalk, and then his two stud receivers are not so chalky. They're 12-15%. I'll take a double stack in that case. Shoot. I mean, if I'm thinking Geno's going to go off as the quarterback one this week, why would I not play his two stud wide receivers that are right there in front of you, not getting as much attention? It makes no sense. So sometimes you got to take the projections with a grain of salt. We've seen it swing so wildly one way or the other. Like last year, remember we are like, oh, we're so surprised that Tom Brady's not chalky this week. And by the time it locked, he went from 8% to 21%. And we were pretty much up the creek when he also busted.
That was not a good week.
No, it was a really bad pitfall where we were expecting a guy to be a leverage play, and that ended up not being the case.
Yeah, no, I like it. We're going to get back to that one. That's going to be our foreshadowing teasing. Here at the tight end position, we talked about this yesterday. Kelsey and Mark Andrews are relatively very similar ownership here.
You know what I'm doing.
You're Kelsey. I'm going to ask a little bit later about why not Andrews, but we'll get there for sure. And then defense. It's always good to know. There's a lot of mega chalk coming in right now on the Jets, which, looking at Fields probably not going to play. Makes a lot of sense.
It's understandable, but this is a position where you should be playing leverage.
Yeah. Well, I think where are I can't even find them. Are they not roster? They got to be the Kansas City Chiefs. Where are they at right now? Where's their defense? Their defense isn't even on the board. Okay, so that's not good. Okay, there it is. They're saying 0%. I don't think it's going to be 0%. I think this is wrong. I think this is going to be a lot higher than 0%, honestly. This is a defense. It's going to be popular. Yeah, it's going to be real.
They're very optimal too. They're optimal. The Bryce Perkins experiment, that we'll see what happens there.
Yeah,
but the Chiefs defense has been okay all year. They're not terrible. They're not great. They're just kind of bend and don't break.
They're at home.
And Bryce Perkins, I mean, he's something. He's not much though. He's no Matthew Stafford.
He's a person. We respect him.
He is an NFL football player.
Yeah. He's
professional quarterback. Yeah.
But okay. All right. So that was kind of the overview of the chalk. Now we're going to kind of get into the games and talk about how you can maybe mitigate some of this chalk when you're stacking, and how your options can kind of build the most advantageous optimal lineup, as they say. So let's get into this game here. Cincinnati. I know I'm big into Joey B this week. Jamar Chase, what do you think about him? He's trending towards not playing.
He's announced as out. He's already out.
He's out. Yes. I that's good. You're keeping up on the Twitters as I'm building lineups.
Not even Twitters. I get alerts from like 3 different apps telling me all this stuff. Twitter just gets like 15 ways to say something clever about it.
Yeah. No, I've been building lineups for the last, I don't know, since 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock, and he was questionable, so he had not gone out officially yet until I guess when I stopped building lineups about a half an hour ago to get the show going. So, but yeah, by the way, D Brown jumping in saying KC is just a plug and play. I kind of believe that too. It's in most of my lineups. Mike Cash Collins too for the Fantasy Millionaires. He's all over this play too, and Bo kind of co-signed it earlier on
I love the Jets regardless, but with Justin Fields trending out, that's why the chalk is swinging so heavily in that direction. So yeah, you gotta limit your exposure to chalky defenses for sure. Because you just never know what can happen to a DST.
Exactly. All right, let's talk about the chalk in this game. Samaje Perine, 21% rostered. You get it 5,600. But this seems more like a passing attack game, given the secondary woes of the Tennessee Titans. How do you think that the Cincinnati Bengals and Joe Burrow attack this defense?
They're going to have to attack it through the air because it's a really tough run defense. Samaje Perine is a receiving running back. They're not going to give him a Joe Mixon workload. That's just not going to happen. We're looking at a game that the Bengals might throw the ball 40 or more times. Mm-hmm. And if that's the case, then Joey Burrow's probably a lock for the 300-point bonus or 300-yard bonus on DraftKings. T. Higgins and Tyler Boyd are going to be getting a lot more attention as we get closer to lock. Now that the Chase news is kind of getting out, Tyler Boyd, a huge leverage play at this very moment, but I think that's going to change. I think it's going to pivot away from Hayden Hurst being chalky, and that's kind of where I'm going because the strength of the Titans defense is up front, and if they can heat up Joe Burrow, it's going to set his sights shorter, which makes Perine a good cash play. I don't see a ton of upside there against the Titans. The Titans are well coached; they're a good winning football team. So I'm kind of erring to the side of the under on the score here. I think it's going to be close to the vest. It's going to be not as many big plays, but Hayden Hurst at 3,500, 3,300, 3,300 for Hayden Hurst. He's going to get lots of volume on just quick dump offs. I really like that play there. It's going to be hard other than just stacking up Bengals to see what happens. It's still a bit chalky for my taste because I don't think this game's going to shoot.
Yeah, sorry about that, Andrew. Here's a question for you both. Do you know how many touchdowns the Tennessee Titans defense has given up to running backs, passing and rushing? I'll give you both. It's under 5. I'll give you a guess. How many do you think?
It's 4.
It's 2.
2?
It's 2. It's 2.
Good.
Right. So, I mean, Samaje Perine got 2 last week. So you might just be of
3 last week.
3 last week. Right. I mean, all 3 receiving. Right. So you might just be of the old school, like, just pay it 40. He's going to get at least 1 or 2. Hold up. Yeah. Just be a little bit hesitant there. Not a bad play. I just think he's super chalky. And I think there's other better plays at running back. So
if you're going to get chalky at running back, make sure it's for a 30-point upside guy.
Yeah, no, I'm with you on that too. All right, let's go over to. Are we going to build any stacks from this game? Because we're stack attacking.
Burrow,
Burrow. You want to double
Burrow
stack?
Boyd and Burrow Higgins. You can do a double stack. Yeah. I like, and you should mix and match some Hurst in there.
Yeah. I'll do a little 1 up and then a little 1 down. I will do a 1 with Traylon Burks run back. He had over 100 yards last week. I like that.
4,200. He's chalky as hell too.
Is he chalky as hell? Let's go check and see his chalk. I'm interested in that chalk. I want to know. So
not too bad.
Yeah, 9%. Yeah, that's not great. But who else are you gonna get there? You can get Garrett Wilson, I guess, at 4,300 in that same range. It's between 2 of them. I get Wilson's a lot chalkier, so he's a $100 less pivot if you saving $100 or you just want to leave it on the table. Okay. Anything else you want to build from this game, or you want to jump over to the Washington Commanders?
Commanders, it's got my favorite stack in it.
Yeah. This is your you teased this in the beginning, but let's talk about it now. Terry McLaurin and Taylor Heineke here.
That doesn't make any sense, right?
Right. They're really nice optimal leverage here. I think if you're stacking them in the skinny stack, you can build a lot of lineups with maybe Tyreek Hill in it or with T. Higgins or somebody else.
And with upside, the Falcons defense is terrible. And McLaurin is by far Heineke's favorite target. And Heineke has rushing upside. He's coming off 2 really tough road games against the Eagles pass defense and the Houston Texans pass defense. So he had 2 road games against the 2 toughest pass defenses in the NFL. And he only scored 7 points fantasy wise in each of those games. So we're looking for a bounce back from Heineke with a much easier matchup. And I mean, it's just so nice to be able to spend 11-1 and get a really nice skinny stack to jump off with. Maybe in like 20-25% of my lineups, I'm going to have that skinny stack and build around it because I just like it as a springboard for playing maybe Kelsey with Devontae Adams or DeAndre Hopkins or Austin Eckler. I want to get those studs in there.
Right.
And McLaurin has just as much upside as those guys too.
Yeah, and you don't have to, but if you want to run it back, the options are really cheap with Drake London being 4,900, Zacchaeus 36, Bird 31. If you're looking just from those filler positions, and you're like, I got a flyer, well, maybe Terry McLaurin goes for 2 touchdowns, and Atlanta has to run it back.
Maybe you go super leverage and do Heineke with Curtis Samuel instead of McLaurin.
I like that.
You never know what could happen where you're going like, I'm going to go even cheaper, and I'm going to go even lower ownership. And go and get myself a really nice low ownership roster because you can build some total 75-80% rosters with that stack. And that I like Derek's idea too, the McLaurin and London mini face-off stack.
No, that's a good call. I'm kind of behind in the comments here as I've been trying to manage all the boards. So I'm like backtracking on.
It's first time producing, guys. Cut him some slack.
I know, man. I'm so sorry, guys. No, I like it. You could do a little Drake, or you could do a little McLaurin. We have more McLaurin than Samuel. A little less Samuel. But all the prices are just cheap. They make it easy to run it back. That's what you want in a game that has a potential for a higher total because the offenses, at least they both have showed an ability to score a little bit with McLaurin. Maybe not with Heineke, but the Atlanta Falcons have given up a lot of points this year. So this game should be a little bit higher, I think. And supposed to rain tomorrow. I don't know how much that'll factor in the morning. It's kind of be gone by the afternoon, but we'll see.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah. Okay.
Chalk fest on this next one.
Oh my goodness, this one is it's too sexy for the chalk, and I mean this is 3.
Still don't want to go 0% on it though.
Oh no. I think I think I would have Jeff Wilson made 20-25% or around that range, but not 34-35%. And then Tyreek Hill, I think I'll be under this just because it's hard to fit him into builds that are diversified. If I'm going to play 150 lineups, I can't kind of lock myself into that one.
Yeah. Unless you're calling that stack a core play, you're not going to be able to build an optimal lineup around him. He's obviously capable of being an optimal play every single week because I mean his upside is unmatched by anybody else in the league, really. But this is a tough matchup for the Dolphins. This is the first time they've actually gone up against just a really tough secondary. It's gonna be interesting to see what Tua can do. Where let's see if they try to push the envelope with the passing game like they have all season, or whether they kind of go back to their roots and exploit a big matchup advantage up front against a Texans team that really can't tackle.
Yeah, and I'm wondering too if you mitigate any pass rush or even some of that bump and run you can do by establishing the run, as they like to say, and then hitting them over the top too. So it could even open up the slow play for the passing game. I'm
not opposed to doing an all-out onslaught of Dolphins too. Like just go for broke, do a quad stack of Dolphins. I think that could also be a winner too, because they have the upside to do it.
Now I'll start with a triple, and Jeff Wilson being the linchpin here, and then I'll put Waddle in there a little bit. No Gaskin for me, but
no, Salvan Ahmed is going to be over him anyway.
Yeah, no, thank you. Run the Sims. I do not want that. I'll put 1% Trent Sherfield in there. You never know; he could suck out at 3,400, 3,200.
And Run the Sims kind of likes him too much, so
I'm
not really.
That. No. Is there any run back that you like here? We did onslaught. Is there any wide receiver action? Are you looking at
Nico Collins? Nico's the only one I'm going to be playing on the Texans.
Yeah, 4,100 is a nice price, and the secondary for Miami hasn't been stout this year. I think Howard started as a top end corner, and now he is one of the bottom end PFF corners. So you saw the roll.
I'm not really worried about the corner matchups as much as the last couple of weeks. Nico's been getting more targets than Brandon Cooks, and that's a big switch.
Oh, that's big time. Yeah. Well, I mean, he also had a big temper tantrum and took himself out because he didn't get to play. He didn't get traded, so he didn't want to play. So I mean, Brandon Cooks.
Yeah, the franchise screwed him over, so I'd be upset too.
I mean, yeah,
but it is worth noting that the starting quarterback for the Texans is Kyle Allen instead of Davis Mills. Yeah. I'm not sure if it's any different, really.
It's two turds.
It's really tough to. It's tough to imagine things being too much different.
Yeah. All right. Well, I wish this game was different.
Here's a turd fest.
I know. This game, 36 points. Is this the lowest total of the season here? Is this the lowest total?
Under.
Oh my gosh.
I'm going to say it's going to be under 30. This is going to be like a 13-10 game because both of these teams suck.
Yeah. I mean, I'm playing Carolina's defense. Denver's defense.
These are two of the worst teams in the NFL right now.
Yeah. I don't think that,
especially offensively.
17 points. I think this is a 13-12 game.
Well, it's that famous stat that we've come up with where the Broncos would be 9-1 if they merely scored 18 points in regulation every game.
Yeah, what do you expect? I mean, you can't score 18 points. What are you, the Kansas City Chiefs? I mean,
or every other team in the league.
Yeah, this game I have no players from, so we'll move on.
Denver defense against Sam Darnold. Yes.
Yeah. Or Carolina's defense against Russell Wilson, either one.
Yes, there you go.
So, all right,
Latavius Murray just to feel something.
And if you're a psychopath and you want to feel pain, Marlon Mack. So
no, don't do that, guys. Don't do that.
No, that's like a Joker move. You know what I mean? You just want to see the world burn, your lineup go to hell.
Yeah,
do that.
I'm not even going to Kendall Hinton because he's not even good.
No, I would not. I'd not be involved in any of this. All right, not a game I'm fading here. A game I'm playing, and so is everybody else when it comes to Rachaad White. We teased it. 32% rostership. How are you dealing with him compared to maybe some of the other chalky running backs?
I'll probably be right on par with the field, around 30%. He's too good of a play at that price. This Cleveland Browns front four is awful. They are getting pushed around, and even the Bucks, who's half of their offensive line's out for the season or retired, they're going to be they're going to push that front four for Cleveland around. And Rachaad White he's just too good of a weapon. They're going to give him plenty of work. Fournette being out is really good for him because Fournette got a lot of passing work as a running back out of the backfield. And so that'll go to Rachaad White as well. And Rachaad White's a great receiver and not just a good receiver, a great one. Yeah. And he's terrible between the tackles, where Fournette's great between the tackles and not quite as explosive as he used to be getting to the edge. Rachaad White is an edge only type of guy.
Yeah,
he's a big back, but he plays like he's Warwick Dunn size.
Right.
He doesn't embrace physicality. He doesn't embrace physicality. He's a tall, lanky runner that kind of wants to dip and dodge and run routes. So I call him the lap dog because he's the golden retriever that still thinks he's a lap dog, because you would think a guy at 6'2", 220 would be running guys over. But no, Rachaad White is a dancer.
Yeah, no, he is. But that you need that finesse with Tom Brady. He's going to pass the ball to the running back. You know that. So the targets are going to be there. Yeah, I agree with D Brown too. How he runs, he's not fluid yet. I mean, he'll get there eventually. That's the hope. But
in the open field, he's dangerous. Though.
He is. He's quick. He's elusive. And this is the good news. Cleveland Browns have given up the most touchdowns combined, passing and receiving, to running backs, 16 touchdowns and almost 1,600 total yards. So they've given up what you want, and you know that Tom Brady has been targeting the running back this year. It's what he does. He has a good running back. Yep. Whether it's James White back in the day or Fournette, he's going to dump the ball off. That's what he does. Surveys.
I like his Evans call. Evans is a great leverage play.
Oh yeah, and his rostership is not as high at all.
Much lower than Godwin.
Yeah,
and Amari Cooper's kind of a bust pick this week, even though he's not picking up as much popularity. I'll throw in some extra Cooper just because he is not trending to be chalky at all, and that's kind of how it was last week when he went for 35 points. And so that's a good point too. Brady, White, Evans, and a double stack. That's a really smart play because Brady's one of the best leverage quarterbacks on the board this week.
Yeah, no, he is, and so he was right on that cutoff point after Joe Burrow. He's a 6%er right? So he kind of begins
So
that
nice.
that really nice leverage play.
5,800 Brady at under 10% is going to be so nice tomorrow.
Yeah, and I was listening to some of the folks over. It's not Awesome anymore. What is it? Skotastic or Skokastic? Skokastic talking. I think it was Neil, and they were just talking about how people be foaming at the mouth to play Brady at this time last year, and so I mean now
Yeah,
6%,
for 7,000, and he's 1,200 less now.
right now at 6%, 7% rostership. That's a nice little leverage play. So yeah, any interest in Otten? You still on the Otten train?
No.
Brate's still around there too. No,
David Njoku though.
I do like Njoku. I've got
Derek and I share an affinity for both of these Browns tight ends. He's more of an Njoku guy. I like Harrison Bryant, but when Njoku's healthy, he's at 4%. That's a smash play. And I'm running a lot of double tight lineups with Kelsey and Njoku this week.
I like his price. His price is good.
Oh, it's a fantastic price. Tampa Bay's 29th against tight ends. That's fourth worst.
Okay,
fourth worst in the NFL. And I will
already.
have tons of Njoku.
Yeah, let's stack attack Brady. Run it back with Njoku. Do you want any running backs in that bring back?
No, not as part of stack.
No,
I'll have some Nick Chubb.
I put White in there. I've got Njoku, White, Evans, Brady. I can also get rid of do just like an onslaught stack as well, because I mean that could happen. The Browns are not that good; they're actually bad. So
yeah, their defense is holding. Yeah, DPJ for sure.
Okay, yeah, I'll put him in there.
You know how I am with DPJ.
I know you've got a little special place in your heart for DPJ.
A little bit of Cooper, yeah.
You love
this Browns passing
DPJ.
game. This is the swan song for Jacoby Brissett because next week is Deshaun Watson.
Yeah. Still wild he's playing. It just kind of like blows my mind, but
and he's playing his first game at Houston.
It's just
well, it's obviously rigged for the schedule. They're like, oh, all right, 12-game suspension. When's he coming back? Perfect.
Yeah. Well, and if you are doing this, and he D Brown talked about running it back. I'm going to build one too. With Chubb, gotta get some Chubb in there. Yeah. I'll take Rachaad White out of this one actually, because
you don't want to go over your skis on him.
We'll get a little contrarian there without him in there.
I like Derek's idea of the Michael Carter, more exposure to him, because that Mike White switch, what I called the course correction.
Oh,
going to Mike White at quarterback for the Jets.
Oh, that's our next game. Oh, that's a good
segue. Perfect transition.
Ooh, thank you.
Yeah, that's a segue like Paul Blart, the mall cop.
Right. That was, and he's not picking up the rostership here with Garrett Wilson catching it all. So,
that's so nice.
Yeah, Michael
Carter is the leverage running back. 5,400 is dirt cheap for a guy who's going to catch 5-6 passes in this game, maybe more. Mike White loves checking the ball down. He loves throwing to the slot, which means Elijah Moore's in play again.
I'm playing him against you.
Yeah, what was so funny last week was that everybody in the route tree was wide open, and Zach Wilson threw it to none of them.
No one. Yeah.
He held it, or he threw it away when he had he had his of wide open wide receivers against the Patriots and chose to throw it to none of them. And so Mike White, all you have to do is throw it to the guy right in front of you that's open. And that's just what I'm all about here.
Yeah.
Is playing the weapons, the underneath weapons. So Tyler Conklin back in play this week as a tight end in my player pool. Obviously, Garrett Wilson's going to have some upside because he's going to pick up a lot of chalk there. That's why I'm kind of leaning towards Elijah Moore, who's going to be the slot receiver. Conklin, Carter, those are your leverage plays where Mike White's going to be funneling the ball right in front of his face, because you know that they're going to try to prevent Garrett Wilson from beating them deep.
Yeah, no, it's true. And I mean, Garrett Wilson's price is sexy, 43. I might have a little bit, but not at his projection. I mean, that's what makes Traylon Burks a little bit more of a pivot.
That's what makes this slate unique, because you're going to have chalk hit, but you're also going to have some massive performances by guys that nobody's going to have.
And you're going to have to get away from that chalk.
And Michael Carter, I believe, is one of them.
Yeah. No, I like that. Garrett Wilson and Rachaad White chalk fails. Carter, Evans, smash. Right. You got to think about how the flow.
There's your leverage pivot right there from between the Bucks and the Jets. It's that easy. Just snap your finger, switch it up between those two teams, and profit.
You know, Mike and I of the Fantasy Millionaires. We're talking. We do this every week where we just talk about our lineups. We build lineups a little bit together, kind of galaxy braining it. And the other day when Joe Mixon hit for 5 TDs, we missed Joe Mixon. We didn't have a lot of Joe Mixon. We were all over.
That's cute. I remember that week.
We were all over Joe Burrow.
who had so much Mixon that they couldn't even see straight.
That was the only week you beat us, Bo. Only week you beat us.
I know. I had 60% Mixon that week. It was gorgeous.
But we talked about where if you're on the game, right, you also need to kind of play both sides of the coin, as Guy Bilzerian would say. I play both sides of the coin because I'm a lawyer and I'm allowed to. So I think that's exactly right. If you isolate a game, it's gonna kind of blow out, or a game you can think you can pinpoint, make sure you have the leverage. So I love that point. All right, let's get to this game. Besides that, anybody else you playing at all on one-offs? Are you playing?
Monty is a one-off.
He's a leverage play for sure.
It's crazy because he's going to get a ton of volume, especially with. I mean, they called up Nathan Peterman from the practice squad, which means Justin Fields is most likely not going to play.
Not going to play.
It's going to be Trevor Siemian as a starter. So. Give me the heavy running game. No Khalil Herbert. He's still on IR. So lots of Monty, a little bit of Cole Kmet sprinkled in, but I'm not going to have too much of him. Not much upside there. But yeah, Monty's going to be the one guy that I kind of count on to score a touchdown and maybe get 100 yards with volume.
Yeah. I think this is going under 2. I think this will be 35. That's my call. So I can see it being like 21.
That Jets defense, though, super chalky, but also really, really good matchup.
Yeah. I mean, the chalk's 12%. That's kind of crazy for defense. So, but Jacksonville defense, they're at 9%. So creeping up there too. Transitioning from, I don't know. I mean, Lamar Jackson's not.
They're more expensive than the Rams defense. That doesn't make any damn sense.
Yeah,
the Ravens are gonna light them up.
Yeah, it's not going to be great for them. But talking about this game, Lamar Jackson, he's not been playing up to his level of slate breaking winning potential in the first couple weeks. Is this the game he comes back?
He's still pretty good.
Oh, he's really good. But you're talking about top 5 performances. He hasn't had them in the last 8-9 weeks. So
he hasn't had the perfect matchup in the last month or so. He came back from he got dinged up, and he comes back. Yeah, and he's playing hurt, and he's had some tough defenses in front of him. This is the week where the Jags aren't going to have anything to stop him. It's going to be Lamar Jackson's ceiling week, which is nice because he's way down on the ownership scale. So if you're going to spend up on a quarterback, Mahomes is really chalky, so stack him with whoever you want, but Lamar Jackson just has a naked quarterback play at the top of the scale with leverage. I'll be doing that quite a bit because I'm not a huge fan of the Andrews play this week. For some reason, it just doesn't make sense to me.
Tell me why it doesn't make sense. Unpack that, because I think stacking him with his most targeted wide receiver, even if it's not a wide receiver, makes most sense.
That's the thing, though, is the last couple of weeks it's been DeMarcus Robinson. It's and so that's Robinson has Robinson has a little bit of a hip pointer, but he's probably going to play. And it's a good matchup. It's picking up a lot of chalk. I'll have some Andrews stacks for sure, but I'll have just as many DeMarcus Robinson stacks because I have a feeling that there's just going to be a kind of a funnel to a couple of guys, and Andrews is definitely going to be part of that. He's really good, but I prefer Kelsey this week.
Yeah, I'm adjusting these Bo. See,
Look at you figuring the app out.
I'm working on it. Well, it's hard to.
You figured out Run the Sims after 12 weeks.
What you don't see is I've got
a year and a half.
3 other screens up here on this screen that I'm using, and I'm checking back to see the comments so I can post them. So it's like I need like another screen. I need 3 screens instead of 2. Honestly, that's what I could. Santa, that's what I want for Chris. Give me another screen. So, but no, I like it. All right.
Duff got a nice payout, 8-1.
Nice.
Good job, Duff.
Well done, sir. I like it. A little Marvin Jones action. We can do a
Ooh.
little stack attack with that.
How chalky is
So
Christian Kirk though? Because the Baltimore slot corner is kind of a weak spot.
Not great.
And
Not
you
great.
know how I feel about Christian Kirk.
You like him a lot.
I like him when the slot corner is for the opposing team is not good. So when he played Desmond King, that was a red flag. You don't play Christian Kirk. When he played against Kevin Byard, it's a red flag. And so that's kind of I like Christian Kirk. Yeah. But also I like Marvin Jones because nobody's gonna have Marvin Jones, and every week he's underpriced.
It's 4,100.
Yeah, and every week he's underpriced. Every week nobody has him.
Nobody. Well, right now D's just throwing some. They switched their slot coverage. D, expound upon that. I need to know.
Yeah, Marlon Humphrey's been covering slot, but
more physical. He's a strong guy. He's a physical person.
He's playing out of his mind this year too.
He has been playing really well. Yeah. Well, that might be an adjustment then. What about Zay Jones, Bo? If you think they get downfield enough? Yeah. All
right, Zay Jones is in there too. Another really good value.
Yeah, only 46.
Like he said, Marvin Jones, Zay Jones, those two guys. That's gonna be fun because I think Trevor Lawrence is still gonna get his way through the air. ETN might have some tough sledding in this game.
Yeah, I kind of agree.
Yeah. We don't care about shameless plugs. We love the primer.
We love shameless plugs. We are here for shameless plugs, if anything else, besides being the sexiest.
And the amount of work that Derek puts into the primer every week and to keep it updated, mad props.
Yeah,
I know how much work it goes into just making any kind of content, and the depth that he goes into that to help people win money is commendable.
Yeah, no, it's great. It's tags
golf clap for our friend Derek.
Yeah. All right. Let's jump to a game that's got a lot of points to be scored in this game. LA
Are you
Chargers,
sure though?
Well, no, that's what the Vegas can never be wrong, Bo. You know that. I mean,
well, they're good at setting lines to get even betting, so they win either way.
Oh yeah, well, it's true. They want the action. It's all about the content.
They want the balanced action, so they win either way because the juice is already built in.
What do you think about the return of Marquise Hollywood Brown? How's that float your boat? Interested at all?
It gets people off of DeAndre Hopkins a little bit more.
A little bit, right?
That's all I'm thinking is that I like that Hollywood will get a little bit extra attention by the time we hit lock and people discover that he's active. We're going to see some a little bit more on his plate and a little bit less on Hopkins. And I really like it. I also like Dortch if he's going to play through his thumb injury.
Yeah.
Dortch is only 3,100 and there's no Rondale Moore.
No. No Mike Williams. Also, Josh Palmer getting 13% rostership here at 5,400. I've been putting him in some lineups. What do you think?
Oh, yeah. And Herbert, I mean, have you seen the guy play? He's so good.
Didn't
Kyler Murray's back. That helps everybody in this for DFS stacking purposes.
Yeah,
a little bit of chalk at the top with Keenan. I'm not afraid of that chalk though because Keenan's going to get 6,100 is so low for him.
It's so low. That's
disrespectful salary.
Yeah,
and Hopkins is my wide receiver one this week, so of course I'm not going to shy away from whatever chalk he pulls. It's going to be tough. Yeah, thumb injuries for wide receivers. That's really tough.
Yeah, if Dortch doesn't play, I will have more Marquise Hollywood Brown just because Kyler needs two to tango.
Trey McBride.
Okay, a little Trey McBride. I like that. Yeah, he is too cheap for volume. That's right. He's got the downfield ability too. That big up. So
he's the Wish.com version of Mike Williams.
Yeah, if he's not hurt. So I mean, that's the Wish.
So Eric's with me on Hopkins. Hopkins is my wide receiver one this week, so I am going to be playing a ton of Hopkins, and I just hope that the Hollywood chalk effect hits him and he takes a little bit of that ownership away from Hopkins because I'm going to have so much. And Connor as a leverage running back. I mean, did we already forget how bad this? Did we already forget about how bad this run defense is for the Chargers? James Conner is exactly the type of running back that dominates this Chargers defense. Yeah. Big physical runners that can break tackles.
Well, speaking of
Connor's a
physical runners who
leverage.
can break tackles, Austin Eckler, I understand all of that low-priced running back volume sucking up the chalk, and he is just kind of middling at 14%. I think he's a great play in all those forms. Yeah, I know. He's one of the guys.
Austin Eckler is in half of my lineups.
Yeah, I really do love him. I'm going to put the exposure max up here to 40 because I'm a big Eckler guy too. So we're close to running the Sims. Let's build a stack lineup here from this game. Which quarterback? I mean, we'll go here. We're going to do this.
I'm not a huge Kyler fan because coming off a hammy, he's not going to be running around. Like last year, even just a shoulder injury, he wasn't running around. So imagine him with a hamstring. He's not going to be running around as much. He's missing his slot receivers, probably both of them at this rate. It's going to be tough for Kyler to come up with value this week, especially in his first game back after a couple of weeks off. So, yes, Palmer. I called it last year. I was just too early.
I listened to you, and I've got him on a bunch of my teams in Dynasty, and I'm getting to play him now. So thank you, sir. I appreciate.
He's starting now. He went from a stash to a bench player to a flex player. Now he's a starting wide receiver on your fantasy team.
Yeah, no, we like those guys too. Brady and Burrow, Mike Collins, cash guy, stack of the week, and then Bo already talked about Brady being one of the sleepers this week. So I like it when D Brown's on your picks, man. You know that's helping out here.
They're both highly intelligent DFS players, Scott. You know this.
Smart people. Last week Mike Cash Collins got like 60th out of 300,000. He made $50. I mean, he's killing it. He's beating us every week too. I need to get him on the show too. All right. Let's get to another game that is surprisingly picking up tons of chalk as well. Not surprisingly, but I mean, finally people catching up. But Geno, 17% chalk. What?
It's QB1 this week. That's QB1. The word's out.
Sorry, 15%. But that's still that's just
the word is out on Geno.
Yeah. But then his weapons are not as chalky as you would think here at only 13. And I mean, that's interesting. I like that.
That double stack is going to be so much fun.
It's going to be a lot of fun. Are you running it back with Devontae Adams or Devontae Adams?
It's a guy from East Palo Alto, California. He's on his way to the Hall of Fame. Wears number 17. Devontae Adams.
Ah, yes, I know.
Shout out NorCal.
Yeah, drink, everybody. If you're not playing the game at home, you should be. Every time Bo mentions NorCal, you drink. So
yes, the Geno, DK, Lockett, run it back with your boy Devontae.
Yeah,
and that's your big game stack that I will always advocate. Kenneth Walker's in line for a great performance. I like a little offshoot stack if I get away from Geno. Do a DK stack with Marquise Goodwin and Kenneth Walker.
Oh, I do like
Goodwin's dirt cheap. He's a slot receiver. This Raiders team, if it has an extra weakness, it's against the slot. And sorry, I can't get behind playing Foster Moreau because he's terrible at football. That guy cannot play.
I did the wrong stack there. Okay.
The guy's had all the opportunity in the world to smash with his chances, and he's had one game this season worthy of a DFS start. No Foster Moreau for me. He can kick rocks. Yeah,
Bo hates Foster Moreau, the people. If he would have caught that touchdown that one time, you probably would have liked him a little bit less because
and if some bets for candy and nuts, we'd all be a lot happier.
I may have beaten you in the game because I played him against you in that game, and so maybe you'd hate him a little more if he caught that touchdown. You wouldn't even be on him more. So it's not like that one touchdown would skew you in the right direction. You're against
that one touchdown. That's only touchdown he has this season.
Well, no, the other one he caught. He dropped one, caught one, but. Yeah. We got the no Moreau is going to be forming here. No, yeah. All right,
you can play him. I just won't. He's
10% roster. That's crazy.
He's dead to me, especially at 10% roster.
Yeah, you've always been a staunch anti-Moreau. All right, let's talk about these last two games and then get people to bed. They got things to do tomorrow. They got things to do, and also
though?
I don't know. Listen, Pete, jump back on. We're going to talk a lot of shit in the next round because we're going to do Clash of Beards and Bellies.
The Clash of the Beards and Bellies.
Yeah,
I get to take a victory lap. I'm excited.
Yeah, you motherfucker. All right, sorry. Not safe for the kids. Listen, Denny Carter's kids are in bed. They don't listen now. Yeah, it's too late. It's too late for them. They got to go to bed. All right. This game's interesting, and the reason it's interesting is not a lot of people are playing anybody from this game. They looked at the total and then they said, nobody's
I
getting
love it.
rostered.
I
That's so
love
crazy.
it.
This whole game's leverage.
Can you just start with the stack Jimmy Garoppolo and Brandon Ayuk, because that's just
yes.
Can we just put that right there?
Yeah, I'm gonna do that right
Can we
away.
do some Jimmy G and Ayuk? Can we throw in some Christian McCaffrey in the pool?
Yes.
Because nobody's playing him. I know
understand.
he's overpriced, but it's still Christian freaking McCaffrey.
No, he could take one to the hizzy. You know, he's got the
take
capabilities.
3 to the hizzy. He could have 12 catches for 150 yards just receiving.
Yeah. I just want to go back and look at the colors again because they're crazy. It's crazy, Jerry. It's crazy. Yeah. And Alvin Kamara, I mean, I know it's a staunch defense here. San Francisco getting better, but he is the main focus of their offense. Rushing and kind of at times passing can be. What do you think about Alvin Kamara? No.
Not his week.
Now
in fantasy, in season long, yes, you play all these guys because you don't bench your studs. But in DFS, we're looking for those splash big performances.
Yeah,
and Ayuk and running backs against San Francisco, that's death. And just like tight ends against the Saints, that's death. Don't play George Kittle this week. I don't care how good George Kittle is at playing football. He's one of the best that's ever played the game. But the Saints kill all the tight ends. They don't do anything against him.
Yeah. No, I'm with him. Olave, that's the stack here. Garoppolo with Ayuk, and then I added Olave to it.
Thank you so much. That's excellent.
Yeah, no worries. All right, let's jump on the last game. The total is growing day by day. So
and the spread is too.
Yeah, the spread's getting bigger. So what do you think about this game? How are you approaching it? We're seeing, I mean, Pat Mahomes is optimal. Travis Kelce is optimal. The only question I have is, do you think that they're going to need to kind of keep going in this game, or are they just going to need to kind of run the football, or are they going to not? Are they going to crush them and just score 50 points and go, yeah, this is what we do? How are they going to do this game?
No, they're going to throw it because they can't run the ball. I mean, Isaiah Pacheco had a ceiling performance last week with 10.7 points. So that's outstanding. We just got the guy. Everybody loves this guy who runs in a straight line and falls down. He's a really violent runner, got good top end speed, but no wiggle, doesn't really break tackles, doesn't find the hole, doesn't catch passes, doesn't get any touches inside the 20. That's all Jerick McKinnon. It's just the Chiefs are going to keep passing. They've done it all season. They get inside the 20 when they want to score touchdowns. They throw it just about every play. Kelsey's the number 1 guy, the number 2 guy, the number 3 guy. I'm going to have some Juju since he's back. That's
700, I believe. Is that the price?
Yeah, and that's nobody's going to have him.
No one has really anybody outside of the 2 top Chiefs, which is nice. Yeah.
Yep. And he's right. Watson or MVS is going to pop off. But Kelsey. Can I say it again? Travis Kelce.
I like Travis Kelce a lot this week as well. I think he is a cash darling and worth every penny. And then DFS, you're looking GPP though, not just cash. So I think he could really get up there and get you the 30 points.
Look at that optimal rate though, 16.5% optimal. That's what I'm talking about. That's the advantage he has over Mark Andrews.
Yeah, no, it's true. They'll eat the zone up. They'll just go into the zone, sit down, and then turn around, run for 5 more yards, 8 more yards. It's true. So what do you think about D said Watson or MVS popping off? You see the long touchdown over the zone.
I'm going to say MVS.
Let's pull some stacks.
Stack it up, baby.
Talk about keep going. MVS. Talk about why is it the air yards, the more the target volume? Because you've seen Watson kind of getting there before a couple weeks ago.
But Watson's not good. MVS is at least going to stretch the defense. Watson's he's just a guy. MVS is a guy that can get open. He just can't catch half the time. So we'll see what happens. It's it's going to be interesting. I think he's right. One of those two guys is going to have a deep ball that goes for a touchdown on broken coverage.
3,000. I mean, that's why he's the min.
Yeah, he's the man, and
He's the min.
so you're going to have a little bit of him. I have some MVS. Yeah, just took the top off the defense.
Any other singular plays you like? We're building stacks. I'm going to run the Sims in a second, but anything else? I can go back to the player pool.
I have one lineup. I have one lineup that's got Kelsey, and I ran it back with Bryce Perkins because he does have the Konami code. 5 carries, 39 yards. If he gets any kind of garbage time passing volume, in addition to scrambling around and getting 40, 50 rushing yards, he could hit value at 4,900. That's not a very high bar to cross, and it unlocks a whole lot of goodness.
That's some cheapity cheap.
Cheapity cheap.
Yeah. All right. Andy Dalton, Trey Lance. Oh my gosh, what's going on here? What happened to the Sims?
It's your settings. It's your settings.
How's it my settings?
Go to optimal rates on the right. There you go.
There we go. All right.
That at least builds you a good lineup.
Yeah, get rid of the donkeys. Okay.
Oh, Trevor Simeon popping up.
How is Zonovan Knight in here? Like these are like the Braylon Sanders. Like these are the craziest.
They're not even on rosters.
No,
go back to your settings. I gotta look closer at your settings.
I don't think it's my settings, bro.
Yeah, it is. Go to 1 unique per lineup.
Let me see. Max players with 4. Randomness.
Go up. No, randomness where you had it. Max exposure, you there. The unique per lineup switch to 1.
Okay. I didn't change any of these settings, by the way. So
these get resets after a while.
This is the weirdest Sims I've ever seen in my life. Okay. Yeah. Bo Brinkley, Austin Trammell,
De'Aaron King. Wow.
Yeah, I don't know. These are really weird. These are really weird Sims. I've never seen these kind of Sims before, even with my player pool and settings. So I think I have to go through and then just X out who we don't want to play. I
already did that. But
you already did that?
Yeah, at least I thought I did.
Maybe it didn't want to work for you. I don't know. But those were some weird freaking lineups.
On your stacks, check your stacks. Go to stacks.
Okay.
And yeah, you got the multiple unchecked. Maybe uncheck it, see if that helps.
Okay. It was just the most weirdest group of players I've ever seen in there. Okay, this is back to normal. Oh.
See, that's all you had to do.
Okay, thank God. All right, let's look at some of these. They like your boy Heineke. They do. They got Heineke in here.
I told you.
Heineke,
I told
Wilson,
you.
Austin.
You know who else is on my side is Jordan Vanek, the math magician.
I like the math magician. He's a good one. Yeah, he's a smart lad. Joe Burrow's in here.
A little bit Tua, yeah.
Tua,
Patrick Mahomes,
I like that.
Little Jimmy,
Herbert.
Okay. Little Lamar, little Brady, little Turby. Yeah, see, I think the quarterbacks are going to be pretty evenly dispersed. Like, I don't think there's going to be one guy that breaks the slate at quarterback. So I think you can mix and match your quarterbacks. And if you land your receivers with leverage and you hit the right running backs, that's the ticket. I don't think quarterback's going to be a difference maker this week.
Yeah, I just ran it by projections. And so we can get a couple different lineups as well to see. Here's one: Heineke, Samaje, Jeff Wilson, McLaurin, T. Higgins. No, there's our boy Hopkins. Yeah, you got to have Hopkins in here. Greg Dulcich, Keenan Allen, and the Chiefs defense. Who do you want me to find at QB? Who are you looking to kind of see how your build would be? We got here Brady stacked with Evans, but White's in there too.
Oh, that's nice. And Hopkins. Logan Thomas, I'd swap out. Keenan Allen's a good one. Well, that's a really chalky lineup, but I'm not against it.
Yeah, I'd get rid of Logan Thomas. Oh, here's a nice one. Logan Thomas, no thank you. But double stack Joe Burrow with Boyd and Higgins. McLaurin in the middle. Allen, Wilson, ETN. I like that one. Only
so
118.
That Lamar lineup is really nice too.
Oh, yeah. any lineup that's got Hopkins in it really seems to stand out. I think I'm going to go with you
I
and
think
D
it's because
Brown,
we
yeah.
like him. I think it's because
I
we
know.
like him.
You're a little biasing me here. Here's a nice one. I like this one.
Fine if you win.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You can see you can untap so much upside with just having a spend down quarterback this week.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I really like it. I mean, look at this one. You got Heineke, Austin Eckler, Hopkins as your flex.
Yeah, I'm really interested in the Geno Smith lineups. That's kind of the direction I'm going.
Yeah. Do they have any in here yet? Where's the Geno? I need more Geno. They don't like Geno. They give me no Geno. Let's look over here on the side and see. There's not a lot of Geno. Tyler Lockett 0% min. Oh, it's just what it was. Well, Bo, this has been fun. I gotta tell you, I'm really excited. The Sims running, we gotta get a little better at that. I don't know why I clicked that button, but this is excellent. People can find you. I'm gonna go to my home real quick, but people can find you. If you go to Chalkblock, you can find him. But you can find him at Bo_McBigTime. He's half of the world's sexiest DFS show for now over here at Chalkblock. And go patron him for the holiday season. I mean, bro, you got the holiday gourmet hot sauce.
I got some outstanding orders I need to fill tomorrow when I'm watching Red Zone. I'll be cooking up some fresh batches of hot sauce to fill the orders I have outstanding. I've let a couple of people wait a week or two, and it's not acceptable business.
No,
but
we forgive you. But
there's some special people that have ordered the last week or two, so I want to make sure that they get it. They get everything they deserve.
Yeah, check out your man over at Fantasy Pros. Also, D Brown. I mean, he's in the comments. Might as well check out his work there. Yeah, he's
a full timer. He's a full timer. Maybe one day I'll be a full timer.
He's an ass kicking guy. And Bo's taking over my writing over the flow chart. He's always his, but he also is doing the stacks. So shout out Bo McBrayer.
Did my stacks article published?
I don't know. Maybe not yet.
Go back.
Yeah, better talk to Justin.
I'd send him a message.
This is where it's at right now.
Nope. Yeah, I know. I submitted it before I submitted the flow chart.
Punch him in the neck. That's what you got to do sometimes. Just to the editor. I'm kidding. I love Justin. He's my man. Don't punch him.
He's been great.
I love him. We hang out, me, Mike, and him, and we kick the shit. He lives here in Maryland. So shout out JB. I am Scott Simpson at Nimble W Numbers. This is my doppelganger right here. This is me. That's what I look like
at the beach.
At the beach. Finally back. Hey, guess what? No more vacations, Bo, at all.
I don't believe you.
I know. I've got nothing planned. I cannot wait. This is like my favorite. And guess what? On Christmas, there's 3 football games on Christmas, and the day before Christmas, there's like a bunch of football games, and then on Thursday there's a football game, on Monday there's a football game. I am so excited about just the rest of the holiday season. So we're from our family to yours, Bo. Happy Thanksgiving, brother, and I hope you have a great slate. Anything else you want to say before we get out of here?
Yeah, tune in for the Clash of the Beards and Bellies right after this. Look out for that tweet. There's something else, but it left my train of thought. It's gone.
That's okay. I need to get my charge cord before my Mac dies. So I'll see you guys next time in like 5 minutes. Peace.